Alien Earth, the first two episodes, is a great start to a series because it really gets you into the story and you actually see the xenomorph a lot, which I like. But something that I like about the xenomorph is at first, the xenomorph, when you see it, you're like, okay, it's the xenomorph. But this is a vicious xenomorph because as time progresses in the first and second episode, you see this xenomorph start walking around on all fours. The xenomorph is like crawling all around on all fours, and I'm thinking to myself, is this a cat xenomorph? Because this xenomorph was extra uh agile, jumping around almost like a cat. And I started thinking to myself, there's another scene with that eyeball alien inside of the cat. And I started thinking to myself, did we see that xenomorph chest burst out of a human in the episodes? Maybe I gotta go back and rewatch it because maybe we did see a chest burst out of a human, but I don't think we've seen it chest burst out of anywhere in these two episodes. So I don't know. And that xenomorph wasn't killed, and there's more. Now, here's my question because I've only seen the first two episodes. Um they find eggs, right? And they're called ovomorph eggs. And then in a separate containment container, they have the face huggers. So are there going to be more than one xenomorph? Because they have the face huggers, but then they have like a different type of egg. We'll see. Um, the whole what I really like about the characters is this show is really focused on the story. I like the troop carrier ships that you see in the trailer that carry our main cast of characters that look like there's something out of Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon. I like the design of those ships. The city that they're in on Earth is Blade Runner ish. Blade Runner ish, not totally, but Blade Runner and the Alien universe are supposed to be connected. And under 20th Century Fox, there's three movies, right, that explain this world: Alien, Blade Runner, and there's another one with Sean Connery called Outland. And so I like the way the show depicted Earth, depicted the city on Earth. They introduce an idea of transferring consciousness from sick people into an android body. And in the beginning of the show, it explains to you there's three types of androids. There are the hybrids, which were previously human and were sick and were transferred to an android body. And then there's cyborgs, which is uh, the ship who crashes. Remember, there's a pilot on the ship who crashes. I believe he's a cyborg because he's able to um, change his hands into like weapons and tools. And then there are the ones that we've seen in the Alien franchise, the androids. So the other monsters are also really cool. We saw two main other monsters, that plant thing, right? And there was another creature that's like a leech, that climbs on people and stuff. But then the scariest one was this little eyeball thing that looks like a mime. It almost looks like a Pokemon or something, but it is freaky. Because it was like in the cat's skull. Um, it's gonna be interesting how the xenomorphs react to these other aliens, and what types of different xenomorphs is this gonna create. Great show, great story. Can't wait to see the other 6 episodes because there's supposed to be 8 episodes. I also really like the cast, and I like that this looks like a movie. So that's great. I recommend that you're watching this on streaming, like on Hulu or something. Because on if you're watching it on FX, like I watched it on FX, there was way too many commercials. But I know a lot of people have unsubscribed to Disney Plus and to Hulu. So I'm sure a lot of people were watching FX last night. And I I have a history of watching FX shows. I was watching The Shield, Nip Tuck, American Horror Story, and all of those shows had limited commercials. So they should have put limited commercials for this, but great show. Definitely check it out.